The first type of task we're going to look at is multiple choice. In this part of the test, you will be asked to read a text and answer 7 or 8 multiple choice questions about it. Let's look at some strategies that can help you to make the task easier to do. Read the instructions carefully. Now read the title of the text. It's important to do this as it will give you an idea of what you're going to read about. This means that when you start to read the text, you're already thinking about the topic. Now you would read the text quickly to get a general idea of what it's about. Remember that you're reading to get the main idea of the text, so you don't need to understand all of the details at this point. To practice the strategy, let's read the title of the text. What does it tell us about the topic of the text? What's it going to be about? On the screen, we don't have the whole text. This is for practical purposes, and we're just going to use the first paragraph. So let's read it. Remember that there's no time to waste, so don't worry about understanding everything. For now, you just want to have a general idea of what the text is about. Now look at question 0, the example question. Just look at the first part. Don't look at the options yet. You might be tempted to read the options at this point, but this would be a lot to remember. So just read the main part. What's important? Mark it in some way, underline it or highlight it. Now find the part of the text that talks about when the writer listened to the podcast. The questions are in order, so this is going to be very near the beginning. Again, mark it in some way. It's also a good idea to write the number of the question next to it. Now read it carefully. So what does the writer say? She says, although I am nowhere near old and nowhere near menopause, I was shocked at how much I could relate to this fear of getting older. Now look at the options. Which one is closest to this idea? If you're not sure, use a process of elimination. Always choose one. You don't lose marks for wrong answers. Now look at question 1. Again, just the first part. Don't look at the options yet. Read it carefully. Now find the part of the text where the writer talks about her worries. Again, remember the questions are in order. Mark it in some way. And write the number of the question next to it. Now read it carefully. So what does the writer say she's worried about? Think of your answer. And then look at the options. Which one is closest to your answer? If you're not sure, use a process of elimination. Always choose one. You don't lose marks for wrong answers. In this case, the answer is C. Now let's go over the tips for doing this type of task again. Read the text quickly to get the general idea. Read the first part of the question carefully. Ignore the options. Identify the part of the text where you think the information will be found. Read it carefully, underline it, and write the number of the question next to it. Think of your answer to the question. Now read the options. Cross out the ones you are sure are wrong and choose the one which is closest to your answer. If you're not sure, use a process of elimination. Remember that points are not deducted for wrong answers, so answer all the questions. Thank you.